Good. Let's go. Let's. Oh, onegaishimasu. Yoki. So we'll just start a little bit on this thing. Working the vertical. Okay, front and back. Side to side. Working with the rotation. Into your wave. Oh, yeah. And just mix them in freely. Just work the body wherever you feel like it. Okay, good. Okay, we're going to a little bit of these swings. Just let the arms drop down. Nice and flexible in the knees. The weight just enter the heel, the feet. And sink the hips down. Okay, from side to side, just working the hips. Let the hands find the shoulder. Good. And working the shoulder. Yeah. And the other way. Right. Okay, just do some work just with the shoulders, just stretching the arms out wide as you can. You're kind of pushing two walls apart and then just rolling them front and back. You're kind of screwing from the palm of the hand, center of the palm, all the way through the center of the joint. Feel it's like it's winding through the joint, like a kind of steel cable, forward and then wind it back. Wind it forward, wind it back. You can let the movement travel all the way into the shoulder blade as well. All the way in and all the way. Let that back. Okay, just loosening the elbows. And the other way. Okay, rolling the fingers up. Just going to curl the hands towards the body, towards the forearm. Yeah, and release it, push out, and then coil in. As if you're really trying to touch the forearm. And out. Touch in, release. Touch in, release. One more. Touch in, release. And then hold the hand palm down, coiling up this way. This way. Okay, just working the arms this way. Elbows tight to the body as you go in. Here. As you come in, tight Release it as if you're pushing something away, or like a kind of swimming stroke. So you're splitting, separating with the body right in between it. Yes. Let the weight sink down as well. Sink. Up, out. Press through. Press through. Press through. Press through. Press through. Okay, just holding the hand here. Up. And just reaching them up. Keep the shoulders placed down. Reaching towards the lower back. Reach up. Release all the way down. Connect the palms, forearms, elbows. Settle the body down. Sink the shoulders, pull the arms up. Release. One more. Stretch. Good. Keep joining the hands together, working the wrists. You're just pressing the palms. Now we're going to Ikkyo. Oh, another hand over the top. Yeah. Change. 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 Change. And throw over the top. Yeah. And change. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Into center. And change. Wow. Taking the fingers. Yeah, change. And all the way over into Shihonai. And change. Yeah. Okay, just working the fingers out. And feel like they're really spreading from the center of the palm again. Wow. Wow. Spreading out every time. A little bit faster. And making fists. Again, try and coil them into the center of the palm. Nice and strong. And a little bit faster. And just get closer and closer to the body. See if you can feel at the same time as you find the face, let the weight sink into the ground. Let it all drain into the ground. I get a sense that you're kind of close. It's a bit strange. Feel like you're closing from the center. So feel that the hand's really under control of the center of the body. Yeah. So at the same time, the center is going to kind of contract in. And then just use that same feeling, keep this nice and light. And just now work with with an extension out in the palm. So rather than a fist, just let the weight sink down. Keep the hands open and out, close to the body. The weight sinks down, the center comes on, and then the hands snap. Just work it quite loose. And then just working one side, coming on, and keep the same feeling so the weight's going to hit the ground. The center's going to snap, come online, and then the hand's going to come on. This. I know that mobility in the arm's going to come from the from the elbow down. We've got a dunk, 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 and the mobility in the body coming forward is going to come from the hip. So don't let the shoulders do really anything in this case. The shoulders, you just want them to settle back and down. So there should be a feeling constantly that the shoulders rolled back and trying to connect into the lower back. And from the lower back, the hips trying to connect really into the ground. There, and then just try a few on the other side. Weight very subtly shifting, not too much. It's more of a kind of reaching down, so kind of coiling down. So it's not so much this kind of thing. Let the hip just coil in. That's it. That's it. Yeah. It should feel very heavy. So it shouldn't feel kind of light in the hand. It should feel quite heavy. Feel like the whole weight is in the hand. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Feel as if someone was to push against the hand, it would be very difficult to push it in. Okay, and then just work with it two ways. You roll in, this, roll to the back, this. Keep the weight as you rotate, so keep it nice and heavy. That. So you've always got one root in the ground. Root it, press it out, root it, press it out. The hips are still pretty much staying on the spot, so it's not too big a movement this way. Just let the hips spiral into the ground. This. Hands are quite low. This. Let the weight settle every time. Boom. Just like we do with Zengo Giri. Settle, go. Settle, go. Settle, go. I'm gonna try. Nice. There we go. Okay, try and feel when you make the rotation, it's a little bit like the sword work as well. So what you don't want to do is loosen through it. So you don't want to kind of that and then something really kind of loose as you go through. So you don't want to be too soft. You want to be supple, but you don't want the form. Actually, loose is the better way. You don't want to be really loose when you do it. So you don't want something like that snaps on and then snaps on and then snaps on. What you don't want to do is tie the kind of the centering power of the body. You don't want to tie it to a form. So I don't want it to be like switched on here and then I release it. Switched on here and then I release it. Because I'll get used to that pattern and I'll basically use it when I do techniques. So I'll be weak and then boom, I'll try and power it on. And I'll be weak and then I'll try and power it on through the shape of the form. Try and feel that that power is actually always kind of switched on. It's just that when you go here, it's just focusing in. But it's still here, it's still here, it's still here, it's still here, that. And then it's just focusing in, like a kind of laser beam. So it's still on, still on as you go through this. But the key to it is keep a kind of subtlety, keep a suppleness in the body. As you go, it's still fluid. And when you focus, it's still also fluid. So there's still something flexible about the body. This, but try and feel that the power is still working through the round. There. And then we'll just do it in 4 directions. So really the same as we do Shiho. You're going to start in the right side. Just keep it the same as the sword work. So you go like this. 1, roll to the back. 2, and then take the left foot, roll. 3, and then 3 to the back. Here. And if you want, you can do this left side too. So starting on the left side, 1, roll, 2, right foot across, 3, 4, and then releasing it. So it goes from the front, 1, to the back, 3/4, 3, 4. Just keep all the sense time that hips are really engaging. Again, not really moving from the spot, just rotating, focusing forward, rotating, focusing. You go. Yeah, try and feel every time, put a little bit more emphasis on the focus. So now when you go through, imagine like when you've got the sword, you snap into the movement. You want the same kind of feeling. It's not the same because I'm not channeling it through an object. So it's going to just go into the hand. But really feel that there's a point when the hand will come fully into extension and then the center snaps behind it. So really feel there's a definite finish to the form. So it goes like this. And then you roll it back, this. What I don't want to do is kind of leak out of it. So like somewhere there, somewhere there. That's okay later when we do it in a little bit more flowing form. You're going to slightly more, you're going to kind of continue the focus. But in the case of the Kihon, really get a sense that it's got a solid finish, finish. Also break the form up as well. So you really want the sense that the hips behind it, boom, comes in. So there's nowhere really else for the hand to go. It will just land in place. And then rotate out of it, land in place, rotate out of it, land in place. That. So it's got this kind of really like a snapping quality from the sword. It's got a little bit of a different feeling because you're not totally channeling it through anything. Nice. Good. Okay, a little bit different. Just now working with applying the hips. It's really based on a Nikkyo form. So what you're going to do is now roll the hands up through it. So as you go up, the hip's going to slot in here. And then what you want to do is just shift the hips over, bring the hands down. So you've got like this coming in, this coming up, and then rolling this way, coming over. And you can do this to the other side, this, and then hip rolling. Shift the feet as much as you like when you do this. You can also just keep the feet glued down. If you want to make it very, in a way, quite subtle, the hips come in and then roll down. But if you like, you can also really shift the hips in, this, roll back, this. So let the feet go in. The key thing is that the feet aren't the priority. Always keep in mind that the hip movement's the priority. So when I go to move the feet, don't think that the feet are gonna do the form for you. Get the sense that the feet are just there to mobilize, help me mobilize the hips more. So roll up, roll out, roll up, roll out. This. That's it. Yeah, good. That's it. Yeah. We'll go a little bit back. There's also a good thing with Morotodori that it teaches us to use these kind of dynamics without grabbing. So there's something about when we get to grabbing stuff, we start to put power into try and put power into the upper body. So Morotodori is a really great technique because it doesn't rely at all on grabbing. So it's really, if I try and put any kind of power into the hands or into the shoulders, you'll automatically kind of fail with it. So just do the same movement. You roll up with the body, and then rather than now come into that position, let the hands sink over this way. So you're keeping the shoulder really down. This. So just let the hands sink down now. So we'll go back. Don't worry about grabbing at all. Don't worry about powering through. Just sink the hips into it. So it's really like you're cutting with the hands. So you cut up and then cut down. Cut up, cut down. Cut up, cut down. And just experiment a little bit with the footwork. You can do this just on the spot. This, 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 this. Or you can bring the footwork into it. This, 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 this. Again, just get the key that the hips are really the priority. Let the shoulders really roll down. That's it, that's it, yeah. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, just watch also, this distance between the hands is also going to shift because what's happening is the hips are going to open out. So this very first moment, the hips are quite square on, so they're like this. And then from here, what you're going to do is to open the hands out. Okay, it's not going to do something like that. It's going to do something like this. So the hips are going to pull out and open. So you've got the hips in like a narrow position. From here, this. And then from here, the hips going to draw the hand out. This. This. So the hips finish in a really square, a really wide position. Feel like a hitoemi position. So when you're doing in the form this way, so the hips are really wide, and that makes the hands also go wide as well. So the width in the hands isn't coming from, again, throwing the arms out. It's going to come from the hip coming out that way. Yeah, that's it. Okay, try and really get a sense like the hips are in the hands, totally full and really grounded. Yeah, exactly. Good. Nice. Yeah, nice. Good. And then just go back to the Aikido form. So rolling up in the same way here, and then let this arc out now. So the hip's going to do a similar thing, but it's not going to rotate into it. So it's just going to come here and then this. So the hip's going to open and travel with it this way, and then come into a full grip with it. So you're going to find the grip here at this point, and then it fully comes in here. Just again, keep the feeling that the shoulders are releasing. So at no point does the shoulder kind of activate through the technique. Keep the sense the shoulders always pulling back into the body. And then coming in. If you want, you can take the extra step. So you can do 1, 2, 3 in. And that step's just solidified the connection. So it comes up, 1, 2. So it's strongly extended, but really rooted in the back. 3. That's it. There we go. That's it. Yeah. Good. Good. Just take a bokken. Try the same thing with the bokken. So you've got something now to really channel the focus into. So you come up like this. Keep the front hand, the back hand. Keep that on the bokken here. Let the front hand do the koku work. So it's going to come up like this, and then roll across. The key thing now is you've got really something to focus on as you do this. So you've got this position, and then this comes in. You're going to go right across the palm this way. This, and then as you find it, let the hip open out. You've got that, and then this coming in. And then really feel that you're focusing the center in, right between the two hands. So there's this pressure out, down, and then you're going to take the step in, this, and really feel there's a pressure coming through the bokken. So you can try this both sides. If you want, you can start it like here, this coming in, and then roll it, roll it, roll it. Really focus it down, and then through this. Should also feel a kind of pressure coming up from the ground, so there should be a kind of meeting point between the bokken and the body. There. Work it in. This. Yeah. That's it. Great. There we go. Here we go. Nice. Good. And then just play with coming in with the rotation. So you're going to take the ura form, the bokken's in the backhand. You're going to roll in and this time take a step. So you've got the, if you've got the right, if you've got the left foot forward, the bokken's in the right side. You're going to roll up and you're going to change the foot. You're going to come in. This way you find the grip here, this point, and then get the hip sinking around. Now the cut down, find the base, is all going to be one thing. So there's no real step in this movement. The steps at the beginning and then coil it down in this position here. So just spiral into the ground. So I'm going to come here, reach it up, find the grip, and then coil it down. It's naturally a bit more of a rounder technique, but see if you can break it down also into 2, 1, really find the ground here, and then coil it around to the back. That's it. Just play with a few, just get the feeling for the spiral that goes to the ground. So this is a really tricky technique, and especially because as you're rotating, the weight tends to get lost or get lost in the upper body. It becomes something like this kind of movement. And then it's basically just the upper body doing the movement. So just a few very light with the upper body, rolling in and really feel heavy underneath. So there's really a kind of heaviness coming to the ground. So what you're looking to do is really uproot the person, be right underneath them here, here, and then get that movement so that it's on top of the person, so that they get drawn out from this, and then as they get caught in a spiral, the weight's going to shift on top of them, so they get totally kind of nosedived into the floor. So what you want, something really like a spiral underneath, and that heaviness is going to come from the upper body, from the lower body, not from the upper. Yeah, just try if you take it nice and light with the upper body. Yeah, try and feel the weight, everything comes from the ground. Yeah. Yeah. That's it, that's it. Yeah. Good. Okay, now bring the arms back into it totally. So What you want to feel is the same with the basic one. It's that the arm is really coming from the ground. So you want to feel really a deep connection between the hand and the feet. So as it comes up, this. Now in this case, what you're doing at the same time is you're coiling into it. But really feel that the arm's not raising independently, but it's actually shooting from the ground. This, coming up. And then you continue that connection in. So really feel that it's coming from the ground. So it's like shooting up, rolling in. At the same time, you need to catch it into a spiral. So play with the movement a little bit. You can make it a little bit smoother as well. Comes up, down, up, down. You can also make it really sharp. Just that. Whoa. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Good, and then we'll just work with it a little bit of movement. So keep the bokken in front. You've got two options. You can roll to the side, come this way, roll to the side, and then come up with it. And you can do the emote or so mix them in, rotating or not. Or you can go to the back this way. Just keep the sense again, the weight down. So every movement, think about how the hips are interacting with the hand. So everything shouldn't come from the hand independently. Should really have the sense that it is rooted in the hip. Hip, and then from hip, release it out. Coming into the front or rolling to the back. Just mix them all in. Coming in. Just keep it nice and heavy. There. Be really conscious of the balance in the body. Everything nice and centered. Coming through. There we go. Yeah, okay. This is a really great movement. So just watch this again. If I just do this with the body in a way, just coming, if I just think about moving the body back and taking the bokken, be something like this. Think what you're actually training in this case is this is really the blend in the kazushi. So as the person comes in, you want to draw them out and trap them into the body. So what you're doing is without pulling them, you're blending into the line of movement, and then you're dropping it into the ground. And this is basically a preparation so that you can go to the next movement. So later, when we go into like a little bit kinanagai work, it's just going to kind of spring out of the ground. What I don't do is just move the body back in space. Again, this is relying just on the body to do, just on the positioning of the body to do it. So it's not only the positioning of the body, it's what I'm actually doing with the body. So it's also the intention. What I'm trying to do is trap the person out of structure. So just feel as you go in, feel as you go in with the sword, what's the intention as I do it? So I'm trying to draw back and really down, down. And then that movement's gonna spring up and out. So just get a sense of the quality of the movement. Also as you go out, I'm trying to really stretch the person out and then keep it in there. In there. Again, just break it down as well. Don't feel you have to do the full technique. It's gonna go down, somewhere there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. I also think this is why I like these resistance bands to train with, because they give you elasticity as well. So they give you kind of double, give you feedback as you go in. The BOKKEN, because it's just a wooden stick, won't really give you that. It just gives you weight to kind of focus on. But if you think about these kind of movements, what you're doing is really opening, stretching out. And then what you want to do isn't something like this, which will actually pull the person out back into structure. But feel that as you're going, you're actually keeping this tensor. This. So there's a kind of tension that's coming from the thing. You've got to do it when you do with the BOKKEN. Imagine that the BOKKEN's attached to something, so it's not freely floating around, but it's actually attached to something heavy. So what I need to do is feel that you draw it out, and then especially when you go into the 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 tensile elasticity with it. So I want to stretch the person out, 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 all the way to the end. Just give it a try. These resistance ones are really useful for that kind of quality. You want a kind of elasticity in the connection. Yeah. And that with the BOKKEN is going to come totally from you. So you can't kind of cheat it. That kind of elastic connection is going to be you into the BOKKEN. Yeah. That's it, that's it, that's it. Yeah, great. There we go. That's it. John, nice, nice, nice. Good. Yeah. There we go. Okay, we'll do one that's difficult. It's one of the nicest variations we've got, and it's when the technique totally fails. I totally go the wrong way. I get totally mixed up, go to another technique, and then you refine the ikkyo. So you go like this. It's a little bit like the kaitenage start. So you go off to the side, through, and I totally miss the ikkyo. So I get this hand wrong. I sink through from this position, and then a little bit like going to kaitenage, but what I do is cut the arm back this way. So I find the ikkyo through this place, and then you just find the ikkyo here. So it's a big movement. You go to the side, through, and then you cut the body back. And then you can find the ikkyo here this way. So you've got the left hand going in. I miss the ikkyo at this chant. I continue, 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 and then here it comes again. So this is one also, when you do freestyle, it will also just come on sometimes. It will just kind of present itself as you go through. Give it a try. So you go in, if you know kaitenage, just work with kaitenage first. This, and then rather than cutting the head, I take the hand, and then you find the ikkyo this way. Give it a try. Let's see. Yeah, what? What the hell? I show you super slow. So I'll show you from this one. So it goes like this. You go out, and then you go through, and then you take it, and then you're into the ikkyo. You can do whichever ikkyo you like. So I'll show you again. You go out, through, underneath the BOKKEN, take. This is a really nice one. Let's see. Got it? Yeah. If you get totally screwed up, just go to one of the others if you like. There we go. That's it. Hello. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Yeah, just try and get the hips and the hands work together. So as you go in, the hip movement, hip, hip, and then here the hip work and the hand. This is going to draw out. So you're doing pretty much the same dynamic as before. This, but you're doing it from a rotation. So you've got that in, and then here and this. So just let that body work go into it. So if you want, also just practice this body work where you just go through and draw back, through, draw back, through, draw back, through, in, draw back, take it, kill, goes through. Got it. Nice and easy. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, very nice. Super. Very nice. Very nice. There we go. Good. Just spent a little bit of time now. Just feel that you're also going to let the BOKKEN come into movement. So feel like it's a little bit living. This works better with resistance kind of bands, but get a sense that it's kind of moving around just in one hand, moving through, and then just feel that you can blend with it, come into it. So a little bit free fall. Let it move, go. Find the ikkyo that comes through. Let it go. So really fluid. Imagine a little bit like the BOKKEN's kind of got a mind of its own. It's going to go. No. That. Boy. There we go. There we go. Good. Nice, nice. Good. Great. Okay, we'll go real basic. So just coming into the first 𝒂𝒐. So it's the finish. We're going to use all this connection work, so really grounded, solid. Coming through and cutting in. Just take it. Really fully engaging the hip through the cut. Connected, back in. Connected, back in. So in a very simple way, training the same dynamic, hip from the ground into the hand. Focusing everything through the cut. Okay, great. So we'll just finish with some short forms. So from here, just reach in the back, cutting in. Okay, now you're going to thrust forward, in, and then from here, slice out a little bit to the side, step in, cut down, through. So really based not on Aikido, but on Shihonai. So find the back, cut. Find the thrust in, and then from the hip, slicing out, and then from the hip, step in, rotate to the back, cut through. So goes here, goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming back 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming through. That's good. Good. And if you want, play with a little bit of flexibility through the movement. So the first movement you can also do really flexibly. So we often do it like this: find the back, cut in, and then find the thrust. So you can just work this movement, but really feel that you roll into it. Roll into it. You can, if you want, really find the back, also come into it, but really feel that it's kind of one movement, flexibly work from the center. It's really like when we do this kind of work. So you kind of roll in and then the hip. This. This. So you've got this kind of quality, this kind of quality, this kind of quality. And then you can also take it into the ski as well. Just play a little bit with it. Just get in the first, move. If you can get the first 2 flexibly, you can also get the second. Comes in, goes right through. So just play a little bit. You can do it basic, or a little bit more flexible. Nothing changes with the form. Just becomes much more flexible. There we go. Oh, crap. Yeah. Yeah, just watch the footwork. Don't rely on the footwork to do it. So get the sense that actually what's coming first is the hip. But the hip goes through, and let the foot just kind of follow that. If I step out and then apply the hip, this will also kind of take me a little bit out. So feel that especially in that movement, that pressure is going to actually come from the back foot. So it's not going the front foot and then snapping. Get the sense that it's actually rooted in the back. That opens in, and then that hip carries into it. So just be aware, especially when you do these kind of flexibly, just be aware of the root of the movement. So which foot am I kind of actually moving from? Or where am I generating the power from? Or not even the power, just the movement. Where is the movement? Lost it. Where is the movement coming from? Back. Back. Good. That's it. Good. Nice. Good. We'll do one more to finish. So same beginning, different end. So you go back, cut in, thrust in, and now rather than slice out to the back, you're going to slice big from the back foot, slice in, and now from here, keep that movement going, slice into the back. Big full rotation now, really based on Shikanai Ura. So it goes 1, 2, roll in, 3, and then 4, cuts to the back, and then coming back. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, slices to the back. That's it. That's it. That's it. Whoosh. Whoa. Great. Okay, last couple of minutes, just play with, so you've got these 2 rotations. You've got one coming from the back, cutting in, and you've got one that goes all the way through, cutting in. And what I want you to play with, we've got the solid kind of BOKKEN form, which is very sharp. So it's like 1, 2, and the other one, 1, 2. And just then think that you can also open out a little bit more like it will be applied in terms of body movement, in terms of Taijutsu work, where you would kind of slice in and then slice it to the ground. So a little bit more opened out. So imagine you've got the arm in the hands. It's going to be a little bit more open. So you're going to do a little bit bigger movement, and you're going to direct it really towards the ground this way for a control. So just imagine you can do a little bit more fluidly, and again, let that movement come from the hip. So you're really slicing from the hip. All the power is going to come right from the hip. Just play with it. That. Yeah, there we go. Good. Good. There we go. Very nice. There we go. Yeah, let's just make the center of action you. So when you do it, just watch, these kind of things can tend to happen. The sword starts to pull the body out. So really get a sense again, the anchor of the movement is the center of the body. So whatever you do, get a sense that the balance and all the movement's going to hinge from your center. This, and everything's being pulled in to the center, not pushed out from it. So get a sense that it's much more, the less you just feel that it's really contained. So it's really a kind of contained movement. The expression of it out, the extension is going to come from that feeling, but really get a sense that it's something quite contained in the body as you go. Last couple. There we go. Yeah. That's it. Great. Very nice. Great. Okay, we'll stop there. That's it. It's Friday. There we go. So a little bit of thing you can play with also. Well, on Sunday when we do the workshop, we'll focus a bit more on some basics. So we'll run through the Subaru, and we'll try and look into some of the Kumitachi forms. I don't know how far we'll go with them, but we will see. Let's try. Okay. Us. Domo. Arigato. Gozaimasu.
Domo. Arigato. Gozaimasu.
Right.